we go, and we are live. Hey,
Hi. How y'all
goddesses!
doing?
Woo! It's Work It
Woo.
Out Wednesday, y'all. I need it to be Work It Out Wednesday. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out some way. We gonna work it out. Ooh! We gonna work it out. Hey, welcome to Me Moments in the Morning. How
Hi,
you feeling
Trey.
today, goddess?
I'm doing great, Tracy. How are you? You look
Awesome.
gorgeous.
I am wonderful, Val. Thank you for asking.
Of course. Yay. Yay.
I'm shining, 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 y'all.
Ooh.
Woo!
Yes. Good flow, good glow.
Good glow. This is my
Mhm.
glow this morning. All right, man. Okay. So I really enjoyed the conversation yesterday,
Mhm.
talking about our gifts and
Yes.
knowing that it's obvious. Well, it's obvious for us when we see it on other people. We see other people's gifts. We don't always see our own. So I really enjoyed that conversation. So today I just wanted to kind of answer a question that came up. Well, start answering the question, I guess.
Okay.
And the question was, well, how do you do that? How do you find your gift? Right? Well, first of all, start seeking it, because as you seek, it will find you, right?
Okay.
One of the quotes, one of the nowisms in the book is seek wisdom as wisdom is seeking you, right? And that's just the way it is. Ah, Grand Rising, Alessandra, how you feeling this morning, goddess?
Oh,
Woo,
hey. How you doing, girl?
how you doing? How you doing? So let me just let's go here. Let's go here. So today I want to talk about relieving the pressure. Right. I think that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to live up to other people's standards and do all of these things, to conform, to live up to OPBS, other people's belief systems.
I
Other
like that. I
yes,
like that. That's right. Because it's not your belief. I
it's not
believe
yours.
that's not
It's not
yours.
yours. But we
Mhm.
do it though, right? We do it.
Mhm.
If we're being honest with ourselves, we know we do that to an extent.
Yeah.
The hustling and grinding, you know, we have to release that as an ideal, as a mantra. We were just talking about the songs, all of the, every day I'm hustling, hustling, hustling. Now look, that used to be my song, but I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, why do I want to be hustling every day? Hustling.
And yeah,
And
and
just relieving the pressure of being all things to all people.
yeah.
I think once we relieve the pressure, then we can flow. Then we can allow the flow of our gifts to come to us, the flow of thoughts.
And
So,
I guess it's a matter of just silencing the voices.
yes, we talk about that a lot, don't we? Just be
Mhm.
quiet,
Just be quiet. That
silence the noise.
just silence the noise and
Yeah.
just spending that time inward because I think that's when you can really discover what you love, what you're
Hmm.
gifted at, and things that bring you joy, that make you smile in the moment. I think
Yes.
getting in tune with that is, and that could be as simple as get joy from sending out encouraging messages on my
Mhm.
texts.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that I send a little smiley face or a inspiring message, and that brings me a sort of surge of joy. I feel like that's wonderful. But the scary thing is when you aren't silencing, or you gotta go inward to, you know.
To quiet some of that chatter.
Mhm. Yeah, big time, big time. So I think I see someone that could speak to a spirit. It's mountain spirit. Oh
There
my
she
gosh.
is. Good morning, Goddess. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning. I apologies for the late entry. What's
No
going
worries.
on? Phil, catch me
Yeah,
up.
what's going on? We're talking about relieving the pressure. So yesterday,
Hello?
we can you hear us? Mountain Spirit, can you hear us?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We hear you very well, Mountain Spirit. We'll say that.
I
We
can
hear
hear you
you.
now.
Oh,
Okay,
thank
good.
Okay.
goodness. Yes.
Good,
Okay.
good.
So today we're talking about, well, you remember yesterday we were talking about our gifts and all of that, and the question
Yes.
came up, what do you do? How do you find your gift? How do you, get to that point where you can operate in your gift? And one of the things I thought about was relieving the pressure, right? We put
Uh,
so much pressure on ourselves to live up to all of these standards and all of these rules. And so I think that just relieving the pressure, I used the analogy, well, I used a different medical gross analogy, but then I thought about it and I'm thinking, like even when you're cooking something in a pot and you're boiling it, right? And the lid is on the pot. Well, and it starts to boil and boil and boil and boil. Well, to calm it, to get it to slow down, what do? You pull the lid off, you release the pressure, you turn the fire down, right? And so I think that we need to release, release.
yeah, well, we can't be afraid of having fun.
Right.
You always say like laughter. It's because we laugh
Mhm.
together a lot. And even if we don't really get together for a particular reason, the fact that when we do get together, there's joy and there's laughter and there's that exchange of energy. But
Yes.
crying is also a great
It's really
pressure releaser.
yes.
Let yourself cry.
Yes.
Don't even
Yes.
ask why, just let it out. You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly.
scientifically, they found that tears contain all of these healing properties. Not only do they contain healing within the liquid, they also extract, they give the body an opportunity to get rid of a particular toxin or toxins that your body can't get rid of any other way.
Mhm. Mhm.
So crying
Yeah.
is really good. We've done some, not so smart things by encouraging our children not to cry, and I know
Mhm.
that's far more prevalent in the Black community than from my travels around the world.
Yeah.
It's mostly Black people who do that.
Mhm.
Who's, it's like, what you crying about? It's nothing for you to cry about. Let me give you a reason to cry. So
Right.
it's like, oh, big boys don't cry. Well, I guess that's more universal. But the thing is that we do ascribe to causing that pressure from a very young age by discouraging crying and making it seem like it's a bad thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I love that.
Definitely.
Crying, it heals because I definitely did a lot of that in my grief of losing my mom.
Mm.
And the great thing about going to therapy for that is that they says when the memory comes up and you want to cry, let that out. And I think that's what has been healing is to be able to, because why suppress that? Because if you suppress anything that makes you sad or that you need to get some relief about, I'm very happy to hear that scientifically that tears are have healing properties. Teach me, Mountain Spirit. I love to know that because I was thinking I'm crying every day, and God was like, "No, I'm healing you every day. Every time you release, you are getting healed." So I love that concept, and I love that it's scientific. What about you, Tracy? Uh-oh. Now we can't hear
Can't
Tracy.
hear
So
Tracy. Oh,
I'm
there
like,
you
what
go.
had happened? What happened? What
There you
had
are.
happened?
it's all good.
I love that as well, and I am a person who just believes the body seeks to heal itself any
Yes.
way it can, any and
Mhm.
every way it can, and we do. We have all of these ways of releasing through our tears. Actually, even just taking time, as you said earlier, to get quiet, to write. So there's all kinds of things that you can do to just kind of relieve the pressure. Relieve
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But when Val said like, why do we do that? My answer came up because we have taught ourselves. We've been taught, but then we also taught ourselves to suppress the
Mhm.
release. And
Yeah.
that's the new truth, right? Let it go.
And I love what T says, crying cleanses the
It
soul.
cleanses the soul.
I
Mhm.
love that. Yeah, it's
Yes.
amazing what tears can do, and that's a wonderful way to relieve pressure. You're under this it you're under this type of self-taught or what someone has told you of what you should do, what I like to say, what success looks like if you have this big corporate job,
Mhm.
or you are married and you have children and you're trying to live up to whatever this white picket fence definition
The
of what
the
success is.
Joneses.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Joneses. And my father, ooh, Tracy, my father used to say, I ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. I am Jones. I'm like, all
There
right,
you go.
pops. All right, man.
Y'all keep up with
Yeah.
me, right?
You gotta keep up with me, right? So we ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. Who's trying to keep up with
Right.
the Joneses? No. So my thing is that it's imperative
Sorry, I
that
got sucked out.
I
That's
know,
okay.
and
That's
you
okay.
came back. The
Our
pressure of
spirit
staying
sucked you back
online.
in. Come on in
I
here.
know the pressure of staying
Unbelievable.
online. What's going
Unbelievable.
on?
Yeah. That part had never happened to me before. I mean, I can't get in. I struggle to get in sometimes.
Right, but not getting sucked out, huh?
Get
That's
sucked out.
okay.
This is new.
All
This
Yeah, and
is
kinds of
that's
different things.
that's
Okay.
happened to me on a couple of streaming things too. When the internet decides to relieve its pressure and stop working,
It's
you
like,
know,
ooh, just let me knock a
Mhm.
few of y'all out.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
You know,
you don't need me right now, while you're in the middle of a show. Doesn't matter.
if Marie was here, she would say something like that. Yeah, we release it, but you got to be careful that you don't hurt nobody when you're releasing it, and
Mhm. Be
or
like a
that
wild valve or something
keep
like
your
that.
keep
And
your
now,
environment in mind. But you know something, I keep saying we're all grown here. Yeah,
yes.
that's a genuine concern in grade school
Hmm.
or in high school. But we're all grown here, and we have to start acting like grown folks. So choose where you're going to release it. Release your attention responsibly. And I
I
hope
like
that's
that.
not. Yeah, I hope that's not something we have to continually say because we're talking to grown people, and that's the assumption,
And
right?
I'm gonna bring this out. Belinda in the chat, she says, I rarely
Oh,
cry.
you gotta cry, baby.
Mm.
Hmm.
Because I mean, just from the conversations we've had in the past few months or so, where I've heard you speak, there are
And
places there.
things come up.
There are
Mhm.
places there where I would have cried already. There's nothing proud about not crying.
No.
Yeah.
That's not a victory.
Um, and
But like you said, it's been something that we were taught, and
yeah.
Yeah.
now we take it on like
Yes.
it's ours,
It's not
right?
your
So that's when
fault.
I say
Yeah.
relieve the pressure or release yourself from OPBS, other people's bullshit, other people's belief systems, other people's whatever, because it wasn't yours.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing along this journey is like we have to go back and and think about, where did this come from? Was this something that belonged to me, or is it something that I took on eventually?
I
And I
had a
think
very
a lot of times we put it on, we just do it to ourselves. Go ahead, Mount Spirit.
I had a very brave therapist because he was very unconventional. And when I finally fessed up that I just don't cry. I'm not that kind of person. I said, I just don't do that. But he said, but you feel like crying. Oh, sure. I can name too numerous occasions um, where I should have cried, but I didn't. And I was very proud of that because that was where I hung my strength badge, that I don't cry. So he said to
Yeah.
me, next time you feel like crying, he said, do me a favor. Next time you feel like crying, just go somewhere and cry. So I would do, and it happened quickly and it happened frequently. And I would just go to the bathroom. and I would cry. And you don't have to know. It's like, why do you have to know why? Just cry.
Right.
Just let the
Mhm.
tears out. It's like, when you sit down and you take a shit, it's like,
You
why
don't
am
sit
I
there and
shitting?
hold it in.
What's all of this? And why I gotta do this,
Mhm.
But
Right.
it's shit. It's gotta come out.
It's got to come out. That's right.
Your business is to look at it and flush it down the toilet.
That's a
And it's
visual.
well, because that
I
relief you
like it.
feel, that yes, that relief that you feel after a good cry.
Yeah.
Why you want to deprive yourself of that?
Yeah.
I guess it's just shifting that the way we look at crying.
Mhm.
It's a
And
good.
I know that my mom, she was definitely like you, Mountain Spirit. She had a strength badge of never crying in front of people. She was very protective of where she showed her feelings. I can count on one hand the times that I saw her cry. When her mother was sick and passed away, the brother, my uncle that she argued with all the time, my uncle Maxie, she cried when she found out about his passing. And she cried. I remember we were watching some older film. I can't think of the name of it. One of the few rare films made in the 50s or 60s that had brothers and sisters in it. And she cried when she saw that. But my mom is she was very protective of showing emotions around other people, even me, even though I want to say one of the most closest people to her. She had a strength badge of, I'm not showing you my
Mhm.
emotional side. I'm not going to cry around you. If she cried, she did it privately, and when she dealt with the pain of the divorce, she did something, and this is, I guess, where my music thing came from. She just played, we had a record player in the middle of the living room, and she played the song by Anita Ward called Ring My Bell, 2 o'clock in the morning. Boo! I'm like, wow. She just played it over and over again. I'm like, and as I got older, I'm like, who did she want to ring her bell? And my aunts told me it was my dad. So it was okay. Y'all remember that, but
Ooh,
here's Benani. She says some people don't want
that's
to,
what I'm looking at.
because they feel like they don't deserve to, and that's a very very good point.
Yeah.
Man.
hmm
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
and Belinda says,
Mhm.
I want to cry, but I have so much serotonin in my system that doesn't allow me to release tears. Hmm.
Eventually it will,
Okay.
because anything that's off balance is naturally seeking balance.
hmm
Yes.
So as the chemicals in your body, because remember you are a chemical factory, right?
hmm
As they balance out, then and your tears will come. The point that we're making here is to not suppress it.
Right.
Right.
Right. And T also says you have to purge. You never realize how much crap you're holding
You're
on
holding
to.
on to it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Love how she said
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. Exactly.
Exactly. That's the
Exactly.
same relief as when you expiate your bowels, like when you
Get rid
release
of
your
it.
bowels. Yeah, just let it
Yeah.
go. Don't be questioning it, asking why me? It's because
Yeah.
you ate. That's why.
Right. It's a natural,
Because
it's
you
a natural
alive. You
cause and
are
effect.
alive.
It's a
Release it.
natural cause and effect to your
Yeah,
body.
It is.
yeah.
It
But
is.
yeah, but
All right. So through crying, how else can we relieve that pressure?
talk
Oh, there's
about it.
another way.
Talk about it. Talk about it. And I feel like exposing it and talking about it, if you keep it in, it gives it power. If you let it out, it doesn't have any power. And talk with it with trusted friends, people that's not going to gossip and talk about you, someone that you're
Mhm.
close to, that can for me, I have someone that's like my accountability partner. I have a couple of accountability partner. I have a business accountability partner. I have a marketing accountability partner. She's on this podcast with me. I have a accountability partner for other things. So just kind of that person you can talk to and get that and talk about it. Like I felt some pressure with a job I did for a client, and I was like, I'm feeling this way. And the person asked me, Valerie, in fact, it was Marie. She asked me, Val, have you taken 10 minutes to just close your eyes and just, you know, get some wellness for yourself. Turn the computer off and just walk away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't do that. Uh, duh. So I think if we talk about what ails us and what's upsetting, that is, oh wow, Belinda says talking is great. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It's healing. I love it. But you gotta just find that trusted people to talk to. You just can't tell everybody. My mom would say, don't tell everybody your business.
Yeah, but you know that conversation. I think this is just my opinion, nation.
Mm-hmm.
The conversating part has to start with one in here, like
Yes.
Insert.
self
Insert.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I find in my line of work that people they will save the talking and bring it to me. And
Uh-oh.
so now I got to sit there while you talk to yourself. That's not necessary. Like
Yeah.
talk to yourself first
Okay.
Mhm,
instead of just
mhm.
gathering all the
Yep,
bits and
that's
bringing it
exactly.
to somebody, about what you think. Have this conversation with you. Like try to at least at least try to see
Yeah.
where the pieces make sense,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, these releases are kind of tricky. Well, because there's this fine line of how much responsibility, because you brought up the word accountability, which I really like, but how much responsibility are you taking for your own joy? We're going back to self-love again.
Yes.
It
Like
always comes
how
back.
yeah, how far in are you with keeping your space clean? So if you're going to be holding on to pain and holding on to tears or just handing your stuff over to other people, neither one of those extremes are balanced.
Mhm.
But it's that where you can have that conversation with yourself and then admit, you know what, this is as far as I can go with this. Let me
Uh-huh.
talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
But some of your effort has to be invested in there,
Right.
you know?
And
You
I
have to
see.
have skin in the game, as
I
they say.
love I love that. And T says we as Black women have to learn to express emotions other than anger.
Oh, hallelujah. Tea. Give me some tea.
It's
Yes.
okay to feel vulnerable.
Hallelujah.
What was the first film that Tyler Perry got mad at? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Why was she mad and why did she keep a diary?
Why was she mad? I thought she handled everything well. Like,
I
why was
thought
she?
she handled
Why you
everything
mad?
well too.
Why you mad? Just do your shit. Just react to your
You
environment.
mad? Why you
Respond.
mad?
That's the part I didn't like about this movie,
Mhm.
is that she was responding to a situation. Why does
Mhm.
that make her mad?
Right.
Mhm.
Why does it
Right.
make her mad? She's got righteous indignation. Yes,
Mhm.
she's angry. Yes, she's looking for justice. So why is that mad? See, I got issues with them
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that.
That's just reacting to a situation.
And there was a lot of situations happening in that film, and that's
Right.
I brought
And
that up
and and
mainly.
reacted appropriately. So
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
was
do it.
handling it. She was
But
handling it. I'm
right,
sure
right.
there were options, but I'm okay with it.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But mama and them had to step in, mama, aunties, they step in, or your girlfriends, girl, we ought to him up. Let's go over here. Like the whole going over and snatching all this, rip it. Like,
But it's funny though. Oh wait, rip it real good. Why we doing this? Because it's just gonna make you feel better. And then
You see? Do you see how simple that is?
I
The
know.
whole is keeping your garden clean.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be walking around suffering. Life is not supposed to be a struggle. You hear me? It's not supposed to be a struggle.
All right.
It's become that. It became that, but that is not the way it's supposed to be. There is a way to live without them struggles. And that's what I'm saying. It's like when we make the efforts to de-struggle ourselves, we're called mad, or we're angry, or we're, unstable. And that's, come on. You
yeah,
just
something
you just
ain't right with
manage.
her.
And what I gotta say to everybody is just manage your situation. That's it.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
You know?
find the ways to cry if you need to. Talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
talk with trusted others and
People who
get the
got your
healing.
back. Yeah.
Got people got your back. I would people, and I'm starting to learn that more people than not are can identify with what you've gone through, and
Yeah.
you'll find that allegiance and that help was like, you know what, I went through that too when I was working in corporate America. I went through that too when I lost my child or when I lost someone. I went through those emotions too, like all of
Yeah.
that. When I was in the restroom and I was trying to, yes, I went through that too.
Now
And you
what
know
you
what? If you got money problems, which a lot of us do, don't stop talking to broke people.
There you go. There it is.
Stop taking advice
that's a whole other
from people who
conversation.
don't
But
have
yes.
nothing and they never
Ooh.
had nothing. Find people who are either wealthy or doing better than you, or who have accomplished what you're trying to accomplish, and listen
Yeah.
to them. I'm not saying don't talk to your po friends. I'm
Uh-oh.
saying don't listen to them. You
Mhm.
know, because it's just
And
too much.
don't have certain conversations with them. Just don't have that conversation. There's plenty
Yeah.
of other things y'all can talk about.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. You just got you have you
Yes.
just have to watch who you share with. You literally do. You really
Yeah.
have to watch that. And I like taking an introspective look at things and talk with myself. Hi Valerie, how are you? I'm doing good. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Check in with you. Check
Check
in
in.
with you.
The
Ain't
check is
nothing
a check.
wrong with it.
Check is
And
a check.
and then we talked about the hustle earlier. Yeah, we got to put the hustle down. We have to be willing to let go of the hustle and allow the flow. We got to do
Mhm.
that, y'all. We got to do that. And we got to go because we are out of time. I
Oh
love y'all. I
no.
love y'all.
Again?
Thank you all for joining us today. Come on over to Clubhouse. Let's continue this conversation. Much love to you all. See you bright and early tomorrow morning.